Alright guys, grab your coffee, get comfy, because this is gonna be one heck of a story, real talk, straight from the heart of modern American suburbia. Picture this. It's just another regular morning in a quiet neighborhood. Birds chirping, the distant hum of a lawnmower. Kids hopping on the bus, just your everyday slice of the American dream, right? But for Ethan Graves, it was about to become something far from ordinary. Ethan steps onto his porch, steaming cup of coffee in hand, life's simple pleasure. But instantly, something catches his eye. Taped obnoxiously on his front door is this glaring red envelope that practically screams, "Notice of violation." You know the type. Bold letters, official-looking stamp. The kind that HOA presidents print to intimidate folks into submission. Ethan, baffled, peels it off, wondering what possible crime against suburban aesthetics he'd committed overnight. As he scans the notice, he's thinking, all right, maybe I missed something. Maybe my mailbox bent chipped or my grass grew an inch too long. Nope. The letter mentions failure to maintain property aesthetics, with an immediate fine of $250. Ethan's jaw practically hits the floor. He glances around his lawn, freshly mowed, hedges trimmed, driveway immaculate. Seriously, nothing out of place. Here's the kicker though, his house wasn't even in the HOA. I mean, come on, talk about overstepping boundaries. Ethan, no stranger to dealing with nonsense, just laughs it off, crumples up that overpriced cardstock, and tosses it aside, shaking his head at the audacity. Nice try, he mutters sarcastically, assuming that would be the end of it. Spoiler alert, it wasn't even close. The very next day, another letter, then another. By the week's end, his mailbox looked like it had exploded with HOA junk mail fines for everything imaginable. Unauthorized exterior modifications, noise complaints, landscaping issues, every charge more ridiculous than the last. Ethan, by now thoroughly annoyed, stops reading altogether, ripping them up, telling himself they'll get tired eventually. Right, wrong again. Instead of backing off, the letters escalate aggressive. Legalese-filled threats wrapped around phrases like mandatory compliance and escalated action. Ethan, sipping coffee beneath the porch light one evening, reads the latest notice when he suddenly feels eyes watching him. At the end of his driveway stands Victoria Langston. Oh yeah, you know the type, perfect hair, designer suit, clipboard in hand, radiating a sense of superiority that makes Ethan's skin crawl. Enjoying the view, he calls out sarcastically. Victoria steps closer, heels clicking, that fake smile plastered firmly in place. Mr. Graves, she begins, voice dripping with passive aggression. I was hoping we'd get a chance to talk. Congratulations, Ethan responds, folding his arms. You're here. She doesn't miss a beat, thrusting another notice toward him. You have outstanding fines, and we'd hate for things to get difficult for you. Ethan leans forward, his voice low, deliberate. Let me remind you, I'm not part of your little HOA club. Your fake fines mean nothing. Keep it up, and you'll hear from my lawyer. For just a second, Victoria's mask slips, revealing uncertainty, maybe even a bit of fear, but then, just as quickly, it's replaced by that practiced, corporate chill. Suit yourself, she says coldly, turning on her heel, disappearing into the night. But Ethan knew better. This wasn't over. The harassment escalates. Garbage bags mysteriously appear on his lawn, his mailbox knocked down repeatedly. He fixes it once, twice, then just leaves it broken, a silent acknowledgement of the petty battle he's been dragged into. Then, one night, things turn serious for Slash Tires, clearly intentional, professional even. Standing beside his damaged truck, Ethan feels something snap. This wasn't just HOA harassment, it was personal. Neighbors now whisper, conversations hush when he passes by. At the gas station, old-timer Jim Carter shakes his head sympathetically, mentioning rumors of Ethan facing legal trouble. Something about a warrant. A warrant? Ethan knows exactly who's spreading these lies. Victoria, days later. Victoria shows up again, this time brandishing a thick envelope declaring his property officially integrated into the HOA. Ethan sees red. This isn't legal, he growls, stepping close enough to make her back away. Push me, Victoria, and you'll regret it. Her eyes flash briefly with genuine worry, but she recovers quickly, slipping back into her SUV with one final, icy stare. Ethan realizes he's dealing with more than just an HOA bully. There's a deeper corruption here, and he's determined to expose it. Then comes the ultimate absurdity, a so-called arrest warrant, printed impressively but legally worthless, demanding Ethan submit to HOA enforcement officers. Laughable if it weren't dangerously serious. When two officers, Brian and Oliver, clearly fake law enforcement, arrive at Ethan's doorstep, he flips open his own badge, revealing he's a federal marshal. The fake cops panic, running scared, but Ethan doesn't pursue. They're just pawns in a larger game. Ethan dives deeper, discovering layers of corruption, a trail of fraudulent property seizures, suspicious offshore accounts linked to Victoria and the HOA board, all ultimately leading to a real estate mogul named Graham Lockwood. It's clear now the HOA isn't a community service, it's a criminal enterprise, and Victoria, a puppet. Armed with evidence, Ethan crashes Victoria's sham arbitration hearing, watching as real law enforcement storms in, dismantling the corrupt system. Victoria screams threats and claims immunity, but her world collapses in real time. Neighbors cheer as justice finally prevails, but Ethan's victory is bittersweet. Graham Lockwood vanishes, leaving behind only warnings of further danger. Victoria whispers cryptic threats about someone even more powerful. Ethan knows he's stirred a hornet's nest, but he feels no fear, only resolve. This entire mess, the petty fines, slashed tires, threats, it all began with a simple red envelope taped arrogantly on his door, escalating into an expose of a deeply corrupt system that preys on innocent homeowners. Ethan's fight was never just about himself, it was about every ordinary American who's ever been bullied by those abusing authority, hidden behind polished smiles and expensive suits. And here's the real kicker, this could happen to anyone, anywhere. HOA abuse, corruption in plain sight, these aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of unchecked power, a reminder that vigilance and courage aren't optional, they're necessary. So ask yourself, how far would you go to defend your home, your freedom, your dignity? Ethan Graves stood up, took the blows, and fought back, teaching us that silence isn't an option when justice calls our name. This isn't just Ethan's story, it's ours. Stay aware, stay brave, and remember that no system is too big, no bully too powerful to overcome, when we decide enough is enough. Thanks for hanging with me through this wild ride. And let's never forget, truth always wins when good people refuse to back down.